What's going on, folks? Taking a look this morning bright and early at Casper. Casper has been moving big time the past 3 days, and things are looking good here. Getting exactly what we thought would show up on the charts, which doesn't always happen, but it sure is nice when it does. Looks like Casper right now, so it's 5:30 in the morning. It is March 18th. It is Friday. Casper right now is up 28.82%. Big old day to the upside. So we mentioned in some prior videos, if you've been following along, let me zoom in here on the chart. This is Trading View. We're just on an hour or a daily chart. We mentioned that this candle right here on the 15th of March was basically a candle of indecision. The candle went up, the candle went down, it basically closed in the middle. And to me, that marked some kind of a potential bottom was in place. There wasn't too much selling and there wasn't too much buying. Basically, the bulls and the bears met in the middle, and the candle shows that. Well, looking back, it looks like, at least for now, that was the bottom. So that is kind of interesting. We also mentioned that, let me take a zoom out here, that when Casper got back down to this 5-cent range, that we thought it would get supported. So we thought that would be a good floor of support for this crypto, and obviously looking back, as of now, it was. So we were looking to accumulate more Casper at those levels, and we've actually been accumulating Casper at a bunch of different prices on the downside and both to the upside. So it was nice to get that bounce at that 5-cent area. We thought that would be a solid area for traders to step in and support this crypto, and as of now it looks like it has been supported quite well, and it is moving up to the upside. So that is good. I did mention also that if we undercut that low, that 5-cent low, which is right down in here, we're probably heading a straight shot down to this low, which is 3 cents. Well, obviously it hasn't done that. At least it hasn't done that yet. But that was something I had mentioned, and I kept it in the back of my mind for Casper. So let's take a look at a couple other things. You can see that we're bumping our head a little bit in this area, which is normal. A lot of overhead resistance, a lot of previous traded price in that area, and you can see by the wick that we wicked up in there, but finding a little bit of resistance. When we got up to this area, which was looks like mid to low 7s, we did the same thing, and then eventually we broke through it, creating a higher high, which is quite interesting and quite nice to see. It's bullish. It would be nice if we close above this level. Looks like it's 773, give or take. That would be even more bullish for Casper. We're starting to head up to the 200-day, which is nice. Also another area that the price could potentially find some short-term trouble, some resistance until it gets back above that. Basically this whole area here, let me draw a box around it, or basically this whole area, I'd be willing to even go down to here, I guess. Basically this whole area right here in this box, give or take a little bit, is a giant basing structure, and you can see originally we broke down below that basing structure, and now we're trying to get back above it, as you can see by today's candle. So we'll see. It would be nice to, this was a double top here, put in a high over here, and then double topped, and then we headed lower. But it would be nice to see the price get out of this box and get back into some price discovery. But I do believe that'll happen. It'll just be a matter of time. Probably won't happen in one day, although it could. So let's draw a couple things on the chart here. We're going to draw some Fibonacci's. We're going to use a couple different areas, and using those different areas will give you different price levels, obviously. So before I do that, if you look on the right-hand side of my screen, I just have some crypto markets on a watch list trading right now. You can see Bitcoin down 102, and then there's a bunch of other cryptos listed there. Just wanted to share that if you were wondering what was going on over there. Just a bunch of different crypto markets over on the Tastyworks trading platform. Back to Casper. Looks like we'll take the fibs, and we're going to take this high over here, which was May 21st. We'll take that high, swing high down to the swing low, which looks like this low was 509. So basically right there. Now that's just one area that you could draw the fibs. A little bit of a tricky chart, but we'll start off with that. So I do this because I want to show you where, let me zoom in here, just to get us back up to the 236 fib level is right around a 17-cent Casper. So at some point we will get above that 236, but it looks like the way I drew the fibs on this chart, that's basically where, for this example, Casper should be in the future. Now let's draw another example on the chart here. This will be a little bit more of a extreme example. So we'll take like this swing here. So we'll go right to there, but we'll use that same 509 low, which is right around there. Now this example is quite different, as you can tell. The 236 on this is all the way up at $1.17, give or take a little bit. So that is quite interesting, and that is a big move to come for Casper. Now I don't know how much validity that has, since there's not too much trading action over here. There's only 2 candles where I took that swing high, but it is something to keep in the back of your mind that this could be a valid area way up here in the $1.17 range for Casper. Now, probably won't happen in one day, but crazier things have happened. Now, at least for this chart, if you take this wick way up in here, which this says 64 bucks, give or take 64 bucks, and then you take that swing low, you can see it really gets you way up there for the 236 for Casper. It looks like it's around 15 bucks, give or take. Give or take, depending on what chart you look at on TradingView. I think that wick will be different for the viewers who check that out, the Casper wick. I don't think it's that high for all of the charts, but that is interesting. Like I said, I think something more realistic would be like taking this high here, because there is some trading range in here, so I feel a little bit more comfortable taking that range and then not going to that all the way to that 3 cents, going down to this 509 area, basically right there. I think that is a more realistic area to see Casper get up to for the 236 anyway, up in that 17-cent range. Now, I do think Casper will be much higher in the future, but this asset, even though it's up 23% at the moment, it is still well below the 236 fib level. And history shows, if you look at different assets that are under the 236 fib level, when they are under that level, they are great assets to accumulate. and vice versa. When they get above that, doesn't mean they're not going to continue higher. It's just you can get much better cost averaging when you're under that 236. And well, if you see what I see, Casper is well below the 236, and that's why we believe it is a great project, great asset to be accumulating. So we will see what happens here. Pulling back a little bit here. We'll see how today goes. We're up big. We've been up big the past 2 days. Looks like we're bumping our head a little bit on some overhead resistance, the 200-day, and then all that previous price action. I think the price will find a little bit of a struggle getting above that, but we will see. So there is definitely some higher price targets for Casper, but it's just 1 day at a time here. It'll depend. Now this thing is moving basically on its own. It's up the most on my watch list, while the other crypto markets are basically flat to down. So this thing is showing some strength, and that's basically what I thought. Once this thing got back down to this old area here, the big boys who move the markets with the big money stepped up and supported this thing big time in a big way. And that is a good sign to see. I believe there is a strong future for Casper. And if you are a long holder, it would be nice to get back up in this 55-cent, dollar, all the way back up in here, $4 plus range, or even higher. If you use the 34 fib, this thing has big potential on the upside. Single to double digits, no problem. All right, everybody. Welcome to the channel. Thanks for watching this video. Check us out over on Patreon for trading signals if that's something you're into. As always, thank you for watching this video. And let me know down in the comments your thoughts on Casper. All right, everybody. Take care. Have a great day.